All right, hey guys, what I have here, we're going to show you how to install a set of bunks for a V-bottom boat. These can be used for a number of things. The hardware that we're using today is basically geared towards any of your V-bottom boats. Could be aluminum fishing boat, fiberglass boat, whatever it may be. What we have right here is kind of pre-assembled already. This is what we call our standard hardware. The flat bars are shorter on the side. It's going to be for your shallow V boats, you know, your lighter weight boats. This, what we have on this side, this is our ski hardware. This is geared more towards your heavier boats. They're going to be your deeper Vs, your ski boats, where you have some clearance of a prop shaft, maybe a rudder at the back of the boat. That's what's on this side here. Your bunk rails on here. One thing to pay attention to during assembly, these clips in here, they will slide back and forth in the rail so you can favor the front side of the hoist or the back side of the hoist. For example, the reason that you would have that is if you have a bunch more of your boat hanging off the front of the hoist to balance the load, you would want to favor the bunk more towards the front of the lift as well. Once you get these where you want, we'll cover this later on in the videos, what you do is you snug up this boat right here. What it does is it just collapses that rail a little bit, pinches the clip into place so it will not move on you. You don't have to really tighten that down, just enough to snug it up to pinch this clip. Okay? Now, we already put these all on pretty much, but what we have here, starting with the ski, right here at the bottom, you got 1/2 inch by 5.5 bolt here, 1/2 inch by 5.5 bolt here, 1/2 inch by 5.5 bolt here, with an aluminum pipe spacer right here. What this does, it ties these two flat bars into one because of this distance, structurally making it a lot stronger. At the top here, you've got a 1/2 inch by 6 inch bolt. This one is longer, so make note of that. This is the ski hardware kit for the bunk kits. And the long one needs to go on top because it's gonna go through the clip as well, and it's also gonna get a lock nut on there. On the standard hardware, over here, you'll have 1/2 by 5.5 on the bottom, 1/2 by 5.5 on the top. There's no aluminum pipe sleeves on the bolts above or below the I-beam. You do not want to prevent being able to pinch this I-beam to tighten up the hardware to get it tight. You put your one pipe spacer on the top at all 4 locations when you go around. Again, these bolts on the standard kit are all going to be the same length. You don't have to worry about having a taller one on the top. Once you get to this point where you have all your hardware bolted on, you can then set your bunk rail. Now these tabs that are on this clip here, to bring that up, what these are for, these are designed to keep this bunk from over-rotating. And if it over-rotated, you might end up with aluminum against the hull of your boat, anything like that. So it's a safety tab on there to keep it from over-rotating. It'll always hold that form. Once you get it fitted to the boat and know what your angle is, you tighten this up, this bolt here, it's going to pinch this clip and not let it move. But for the meantime, or if those bolts do work their way loose over the years, anything could happen. It's just preventative safety right there. Once that's done, I take the nut off this top one here, take your bunk, flip it over here. All you're going to do, slide that clip onto the bolt. Like so. I always do one end at a time. Push it all the way through. Finger tight your nut on there. And then you're going to repeat that step at the other end of the boat lift. Once you get that installed there, you can go over to the other side. The ski bunk's going to install the same way up at the top. So the question always comes up, well, where do I set these bunks? A good rule of thumb to do is look at the bottom of your boat. You want to keep the bunks off the chines. You want to do it on the flat part of the hull of the boat. You can always measure your trailer, try to get that close. Your trailer is going to have a lot more bunks on it because you're going down the road, the boat's bouncing around, it's got to be supported better. Keep in mind in the boat lift world, you're picking up stagnant weight. It doesn't get thrown around and dragged through potholes or anything like that. So when you pick your boat up for the first time, what you want to do, once everything's tight, is pick up the boat, make sure it's not on any chines or anything like that. Never ever crawl underneath the boat lift and adjust these bunks with the boat in the air. Make your measurements, but visually by looking at it, lower the boat down, get the boat off the hoist, pick the carriage back up, make your adjustments, put the boat back in, lift it up. Once you got it, you're good, you can set it and forget about it. The close, this was covering the standard bunk hardware kit for a V-bottom and the ski hardware kit for a V-bottom. Thank you.